All right, we're here with Paul Sadoff, Rock Lobster. Now, Rock Lobster has made a real big name in the cyclocross world. And Paul, this is your classic cyclocross bike. Tell us a little bit more about this bike and what you do with cyclocross frames.
Well, this is my own personal bike. I've been racing it for 5 seasons. A few things have been replaced here and there, but pretty much most of the bike, like most of the drivetrain and the wheel set is what I've been using for 5 years, competing in about 17 to 20 races per season, including the nationals. I've probably ridden about 3 or 4 nationals on this bike.
Wow, cool.
And I got 26 this year.
And did you get lapped?
Did not get lapped.
That's great, man.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, this bike is made out of scandium, made in the United States by Easton Company. Unfortunately, Easton's moved all their production to Taiwan, but they have continued to make tubing, which I'm buying directly from Easton, Taiwan. It's a little bit more arduous to buy tubing from somebody so far away, but it's still high quality, and I'm still using it, and I build about 55% of what I do per year is cyclocross bikes, whether they be racing bikes like this or heavier, more utilitarian bikes for just general trail riding.
Now, the Easton tubing, is that what you're using on? Is this Easton tubing here on this road bike?
Now, this bike is only about 6 months old, and it's made from the tubing from Taiwan. It's the Easton GX2 Scandium, which is the lightest stuff that I build with. This frame is about 2 pounds, 12 ounces.
Wow.
And the whole bike, with clincher tires in it, it's a very stout, rideable bike, is 15 pounds, 11 ounces, as you see it, without the water bottles. And it's a bike that I ride 2 or 3 times a week, and I probably got, I don't know, maybe about 2,000 or 3,000 miles on it so far. There's still some dirt on it here and there. I didn't get to clean it really good.
It's a rider.
Yeah, this is what I do for people who are doing long road races or like to do centuries, and they want to have a bike that feels like a really nimble, fast racing bike, but still absorbs the road shock. This tubing and this carbon wishbone back here really help.
Yep.
So it's a bike you can ride all day on and get off and not feel like you're in a bar fight. So that's the idea of that bike. This model, the model designation, this would be called an all carbone because it's got the carbon wishbone.
All carbone.
But this one's a new one. I haven't really done the new model designation. It's got a hidden headset, which is pretty modern.
Yep.
It has a new bottom bracket system called the BB30 that FSA has been doing, and Cannondale as well. And the advantage of this is it's lighter, it's stiffer, but from a frame builder, it doesn't have any threads. And so it eliminates an operation that I have to do as a frame builder. So it actually simplifies my job. Not everybody's asking for it, but I've been doing increasingly more of them. I worked with FSA a little bit on this, where they had me do some welding operations, and then I did some test samples and putting in bikes now. It seems to be working out. So,
now, it looks like the paint scheme you've got reversed between this aluminum road bike here and this really beautiful. Tell us a little bit about this steel. It's like a track bike. Fixie? What is this?
This is a fixed gear bike, but this is a revival of something that was in Great Britain in the 50s and the 60s. It's what's called a path racer. It's essentially a fixed gear bike made for the road, not made for the velodrome. And if you look carefully, it's got eyelets so you can put fenders on it.
Oh, cool.
Because in Great Britain it rains a lot of the time, and people go out and ride these bikes and train on them. And it's been a mainstay of British cycling for a long time to go out and train on a fixed gear in the wintertime. And so this is a bike that kind of reflects that tradition. I put a cross member back here with a little fender mount on it too, which is something I generally don't do on bicycles, but this is made for a former employee of mine, and I tried to talk him into the white and black paint job, but he wanted the opposite. So I said, okay, I'll just do it the opposite of my bike. And I also incorporated a sterling silver head badge made by Jen Green of Revolution Jewelry. I think she's in Philadelphia. The lugs on this bike are new old stock from Waterford. They were making Schwinn Paramount bikes in the late 80s, early 90s.
How long have you had those laying around for?
They sat in a box for about 4 or 5 years.
Cool.
Originally, this lug set and this tube set was supposed to be built by Simon Vickers, who used to work for me, and he never got around to it. And it sat in my shop, and he hasn't worked for me for a couple of years, and I owed him some money. He said, well, why don't you finish my frame? So I did. I finished it for him. And he's going to be getting it probably, well, as soon as I get
after the show.
Yeah. It was going to be a whole built-up bike, but the rims didn't show up, and the seat didn't show up, and the bar.
Oh, that's okay. This is the beauty of the bike right here. I think we've captured the essence.
Well, also I thought it would be really effective to have some of the shiny parts on it, but not have stuff in the way,
right,
so that people could really look around it and see all the detail.
Yep.
Because this is the first lug frame I built in 2 years.
Yep.
And I spent a lot of time on it, filing and making it really, really nice, because it's for a really good friend of mine who's helped me out and worked tireless for our team, designing our uniforms here,
yep,
and working with all our sponsors. That's the current 2009-2010 uniform. That's actually the skin suit that I wore at the Nationals.
Yep.
Of course, I was wearing a lot of other stuff because it was 12 degrees, and snow and ice. So.
A lot of skill, a lot of experience, and a lot of friends in the bike industry. Paul Sadoff, Rock Lobster, Santa Cruz, California. Check him out.